Hello, my friends, and welcome back to my channel. It is Wednesday, so it is time for weigh-in and meeting topic. My weigh-in this week was not pretty. I had a feeling that it wasn't going to be because I have been off the hook. I have just been picking and picking and picking, and I don't know why. I've been trying to figure that out. It's not a hunger standpoint. I don't know if it was just because we had company all weekend and not eating the best of things and eating out twice, and I'm not sure, but I had a little bit of that, had a little too much sugar last week, and then you know how sugar is, it is addicting. Sugar is addicting. And now I need to kick the sugar because now it's like, oh, well, let me just have a little one bite piece of candy, and it's fueling my body with the bad things. So I had a gain of 2 pounds this week. And like I said, I am not surprised. I feel puffy in my face. I feel puffy in my fingers. So nothing I can do about it. I knew it was going to happen because I made bad choices. Yep. I own it. I am not making excuses. I'm not going to say, well, you know, this, that. No, I made bad choices. A little too many desserts. One dessert here and there is fine, but not 3 nights in a row, 4 nights in a row. So I made bad choices. I gained 2 pounds. I am sucking it up and I'm owning it. This week, you know, once again, we're away all weekend. We're going to be down in Maryland all day on Saturday. And then we're going to be we have a thing for Andrew on Sunday. So once again, eating out all weekend, but I am determined to make better choices. I am determined to stay within my calories. I am determined. I am. So that's that. And Andrew forgot to weigh in this morning. I did text him last night and remind him. He's like, yep. And then he forgot this morning. That boy is so stressed and overwhelmed right now. I'm just like, oh, no problem, buddy. So, yeah. Anyway. And I apologize for this bad lighting. It's very early on Wednesday morning, so not a whole lot of natural light. There's my abysmal weigh-in. Let's get to the meeting topic. The meeting topic is how to make grocery shopping easier. Probably not a subject that I should talk about because I grocery shop a whole lot different than the normal person. But we'll talk about that while we're talking about this. So it says, attention shoppers. Stocking your kitchen doesn't have to feel like a time-consuming chore. Here's your game plan for navigating confusing store layouts, potential impulse buys, and more. Try this. I give you a whole chart. The store. That's first and foremost. Choose a go-to spot. It should check off most important boxes for you. Close to home or close to work? Do they have online ordering? Is it a store that fits within your budget? Do they have the right size products that you like? Do they stock your favorite items, etc.? So that is first and foremost, is finding a store for you. Now, these days, I don't think most people shop at one store exclusively. I don't know, maybe they do. I just remember back in the day when I was young, my mom went to ShopRite, or my mom went to the Acme, or my mom went to A&P, or whatever it was that was around at the time. I don't shop at traditional grocery stores very often at all. But now most people, I think, hit a traditional grocery store, but also then go to a warehouse club, like a BJ's or a Sam's or a Costco. And then maybe hit a specialty store like Whole Foods or Trader Joe's or Sprouts or something like that. So many people during the pandemic started ordering online and found out they like that and continue that. So I don't think people have that one place that they go to like we did in the old days. I know for me, I don't even really shop at a traditional neighborhood grocery store. I do go to Costco. I buy a few things from Trader Joe's, and I get a lot of stuff from Azure Standard, which is a co-op out in Oregon that does monthly drops to my area. So no matter where you want to shop or how you shop, find a place that you can do the majority of your shopping and maybe fill in other places. Then they say the layout. Learn where your staples live. It may take a few trips or online orders, but you'll save search time in the long run. And you've heard it before, and I'm going to say it again. If you shop at a grocery store, shop the perimeter. Because 99% of the time, the perimeter is where your good whole foods are going to be, around the outside of the store. The produce, the meat, the dairy. They are generally, I'm trying to think of a store that's not set up like that in our area, and they all are. You walk in, and if you just go in a circle, you can hit your produce, your meat, and your dairy. They are your good whole foods. It's those middle aisles that is your junk and processed foods, your potato chips, your pretzels, your ready-made box stuff, your canned stuff, your sweet treats, things like that. Avoid the middle aisles. Stick to the outside aisles. If you stick to the outside aisles, you're going to save money and you're going to save points and calories and eat a more nutritious, nutrient-dense diet. So try that. Try sticking to, now I know you cannot do that completely, because if you use dry pasta, you need to go down there. If you use canned beans, you need to go down there. But really take a look at the aisle headings and ask yourself, do I really need to go down the chip and pretzel aisle? If not, avoid it, because by avoiding that aisle, you're avoiding temptations. So really think about it. Or, let me just make sure it's not coming up. Order online. If you're not perusing those aisles, if you're not walking up and down those aisles, you're going to be less likely to put stuff in your cart. Yes, you can peruse aisles online, but unless you're seeing it and looking at it, and that packaging is calling you, or that big special, on an end cap or things like that, it's easier to avoid those impulse purchases if you shop online. I know online's not the end-all be-all, and I know it's not perfect. I still, once in a while, hit an Instacart order from Aldi just because of time constraints. But it's not perfect. But there's so many little things you can do to avoid those grocery store traps. So learn your store. Only hit the aisles you absolutely have to hit. Next is your list. Organize it by department. Group items based on location, so you're less likely to have to double back. If you can get through that store in one fell swoop, once again, you're less likely to go for those impulse purchases. Look and see your list. Some people organize it by all the meats, all the dairy, all the produce, all the dry goods, things like that. Other people like to organize it by aisle. And a lot of times, if you ask at the customer service desk at your favorite store, if they have a store map or store guide, they do. It tells you what is in what aisle. Or maybe if they don't have that, when you go shopping, take a quick few little notes in a notebook and then organize it what best fits you. And let me say that again, what best fits you. Just because this person or that person does it this way doesn't necessarily mean it's best for you. Just because the way I shop is so different than most people doesn't mean it's best for you. It's what works for me. So find out what works best for you, come up with a plan, and you know what? It's not going to be perfection overnight. It's not. I do have on my website under the free printables a little grocery shopping list. It has things broken down into categories. Maybe that will help you. I don't know, but go check that out. Absolutely free. You can print it out. If I remember, I'll try to link it below, but you know how that goes. So find out a method that works for you. You may have to tweak it several times. That's okay. That's okay. You're not going to get it right on the first shot. And then the next they say is your schedule. Plan a day and time to shop. Weekends are crazy. Now, I know a lot of us need to do it on the weekends because that's when we have the time. But maybe if you could swing like an early morning before work or a midday if you don't work, definitely try that because it's going to be less crowded. And there's going to be more workers that are able and willing to help you if you need help finding something. So find the time that is right for you. Maybe your grocery store restocks every morning. So morning would be a great time for you to shop. Maybe your grocery store restocks midday. Who knows? Try out a couple different times and see what works best for you. And try to make it a routine. Try to do it every whatever. Because once again, once we get into that routine, we tend to do better. And try not to go at peak hours because you're just going to get frustrated. It's going to be crowded. Things are going to be off the shelves. You're going to have to wait in a long line and it's frustrating. And if you're an emotional eater, that's when you can just reach for that candy bar at the checkout line because, oh, dinner's going to be late now because here I am and things like that. So think about those things and try to plan accordingly. Now they say the bonus round, impulse buys. Resist with the right tools. I'm going to tell you the best thing that a subscriber once told me, and I still live by this, and I still tell myself this constantly, especially at Costco. If you say no to something in the store, you only have to say no to it once. If you bring that product home and put it in your pantry, put it in your refrigerator, put it in your cabinet, you have to say no over and over and over again because you're seeing it every time you open the cabinet, the refrigerator, the pantry. And guess what's going to happen, my friends? Our resolve is going to get weakened. And eventually we're just going to cave. So say no once. Yeah, it's hard. It's hard. But if you only have to say no once in the store, all the better for you. They also say eat before you go. It's true. It can help you stick to your list, and it absolutely can. If you go shopping hungry, you are more than likely to buy more things and buy more junk. Use the WW barcode scanner. See how items impact your budget. Check those items in the store because some of them may shock you. Not in a good way. Read your labels. Look and see. That brings me to another video that I've been trying to film and still haven't gotten done about different food. Just because it says organic, just because it says vegan, just because it says plant-based, just because it says healthy, does not mean it is. Just because it's low point doesn't mean it's good for you. Nope. Not at all. I was having a heck of a time trying to find some tortilla chips. Could not, even though, the Kirkland brand organic tortilla chips. Nope, they have a seed oil in them. Something else, that I saw that was organic. Nope, it had a seed oil in it. So really, really watch your labels. Just because it's low point, and let me tell you, like the plant-based stuff is full of, it may be plant-based, but a lot of them are full of other things like your seed oils and your preservatives and things like that. So you have to watch the marketing, my friends. Read your labels. Read your labels. Yes, scan things. If you are counting points, for sure, scan things. But then read the label and see why something like, wow, this cupcake is only 2 points. Look at the ingredients and find out why it's only 2 points. What is in that, my friends? Read your labels. Use your scanner. And then it says, make a no-buy list. Fill it with foods you know might derail you. I don't know. To me, that's a little bit negative. I prefer to stick to these are what I'm buying list, not necessarily a no-buy list. But if that works for you, that's fabulous. Fabulous. And then it says, let's dive a little deeper. When life gets hectic, shopping can sometimes fall to the bottom of your to-do list. It may feel easier to eat out, order in, or scrounge around like you're on an episode of Chopped. Hey, pickles, rice, and cheese. What can we make with that? Or maybe you go the supermarket sweep route, speeding through the grocery store and tossing whatever you can into your cart. If you spend a little extra time planning, strategizing, and turning the process into a weekly habit, you can save time, stress, and points. Even better, when you stock your kitchen with 0-point foods, budget-friendly staples, and go-to ingredients, making nutritious choices and staying on track can feel easier. Few of us have time to waste, especially at the grocery store. Streamlining the process and learning to deal with obstacles is one of the best tools for saving time and setting yourself up for the week and for success. So just real quickly, on a personal note about how I shop now, my gosh, it's probably been about 2 years since we went to once a month shopping. Because we eat such a whole foods diet, we're not perfect, not saying I am. You heard me talk about tortilla chips. But because we eat such a whole foods diet, I buy mostly ingredients, not necessarily groceries. I have a lot of staples in my house. I have oats, I have flour, I have sugar, I have, like baking things. I have yeast, I have baking soda, baking powder. I have all these staples in my house. I have rice, I have things like that. When you shop like that, it's a whole lot easier because you're not buying the junk food or whatever. So I find it easier to not even shop at a traditional grocery store. You've seen my grocery hauls. I use Azure Standard a lot. It is a co-op out in Oregon. They have different drop areas around the country. You order your food online. You can order it in bulk. You don't have to order it in bulk. They're huge on organic, natural, good, whole foods. And once a month, it gets delivered to a local drop area. I go, I pick it up out of the truck, and that is it. I do it all online, so there's less chance for me to buy a lot of junk food. It really works for me. Would it work for everyone? Probably not. Our drop, though, I will tell you, has grown from 4 people to over 100. It's really, really catching on. They have everything from produce to household goods to personal goods to every dry good you can imagine. So it is a really, really cool thing. I'll leave a link below if you're interested in checking it out. But I love it. I absolutely love it. And we get our meat delivered. You know that. You've seen my hauls. Oh, in my haul on Friday, I put the wrong clip of the Azure order. So this Friday, when I show you my grocery or my menu plan, I'm going to re-show you my Azure haul because I got some good stuff this time. So I'll talk about it. And, but we get our meat delivered. We've been talking with our niece about going, splitting a whole cow next year. So we may do that. I'm not sure. We got to kind of work on that a little bit and decide, if we want to do a whole cow or a half a cow. There are so many different alternatives these days than just going to the grocery store and buying your groceries. And depending on how the diet that you follow, and by diet, I don't mean like Weight Watchers or keto. I mean what you eat, what you put in your body. There's Thrive Market online. The neat thing about that, I really don't order from them anymore. But the neat thing about that is you can sort products by diet. If you are Whole30, if you are low carb, if you are keto, if you are dairy free, if you are all organic, like you can sort and they only show you what fits into your lifestyle. So there's so many different alternatives in a regular grocery store, and so many of them can save you time. When like I said, I order pretty much everything online. I can do that at my leisure. I can do that at midnight if I'm wide awake. I can sit there and start adding to my list. When I make my list, my menu for the next month, my dinners, I add stuff that I know I'm going to need to my cart. And then once a month, I check out. There's so many alternatives, friends. You can do this. You can make the great choices. You don't have to stress over it. If going to the store stresses you out, start ordering online. There's so many different alternatives. You can do this. You can make the good choices. You can figure it out. You just have to find what works for you. And like I said, what works for some people may not work for other people. I know for me, I love it. I love it. I save so much time. And we still go to Costco once a month because I need stuff at Costco. And generally mid-month, I do a produce haul at either Aldi or the farmer's market or even Costco again, because I can't buy enough fresh produce to last for the whole month. I just can't because it's fresh. So find what works for you. Don't be afraid to try something different. Don't be afraid to try an alternate store. Don't be afraid to try online ordering. Just do what works for you. Take your time and figure it out, and you may be pleasantly surprised. So that is it. That is the second week of time-saving solutions from WW. And that's all I have to say about that. I talked way too long. So my friends, have a fantastic, fantastic on-plan week. I plan to have an on-plan week this week. I'm reeling it in. I am. I have a black tie wedding in a year, and I want to wear a slinky evening gown. And by slinky, I don't mean I just mean like a nice fitted evening gown. I don't mean like, you know what I mean. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. Thank you for taking time out of your busy day to spend it with me. I will link a couple old videos here of some other meeting topics that might be of interest to you. Have a great one, and I will see you all in my next video.